Well, hello, my beautiful Aquarians. Welcome to my channel. This is Baba Jolie here with a little bonus reading all about you. I've already cleansed your space and have meditated on your cards. For those of you who are returning, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for your wonderful likes, shares, and subscribes. I am truly grateful for all your beautiful energy. Just a little reminder though, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one reading, just so you're aware. Also, please be mindful, scammers are about, pretending to be me and lots of other tarot readers. I do not do personal readings and I will never reach out to you personally to offer one. Also, I will never ask you for money, e-gifts, or donations. So if anyone masquerading as me asks for anything at all, please report them or ignore them. It is a scam, okay? Let's move straight on with your reading. Now, I will be using Gaia chimes, so please be mindful to turn down your volume if you are someone who is sensitive to sound. Also, something that may benefit you during this time is to really visualize what it is you desire to draw into your life, whether it is love, money, opportunity, deeper friendships, or health related. Really visualize it like you have it right now. And the Gaia chimes recalibrate vibrations in order to align you with what it is that you desire, okay? So something to think about there as you utilize this time and take a breath for yourself. With that in mind, let us start your reading and let us begin. Okay, my beautiful Aquarians, this is a little bonus reading all about you. Us tarot readers, we tend to focus on career, money, love, but we never ask how are you doing. So this reading is going to tap into what you're moving through at this moment in time and of course what lies on the other side. Also, I want you to be aware, I've just opened up a competition for one subscriber to win a free personal reading from me, but I'll let you know how to win that a little bit later on because some people are here, just for the reading and I don't like to waste anyone's time. So let's get straight to it. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to know regarding their current circumstances? How are they moving through this period? Can you please show them the way? Well, the Gaia chimes, the energy that I picked up from the tune that was coming out there, because it's going to be different for every reading, I really felt you're very thoughtful about something. There seemed to be an energy about movement as well. So perhaps some of you are contemplating a move or you're changing something. There was like an uncertainty at first and then a lot of activity, but that of course may not resonate with everyone. Now, there was also an energy of something in the background that feels a little bit off kilter, and I have to mention it because collectively everyone's sign is getting this dissonance or this feeling of like something isn't 100% right now. So it could be that you're picking up those sort of vibrations in the world at large, or perhaps there's something right now that you feel is a little bit out of balance for yourself. This could be something in your body, for example. It could be like a vitamin deficiency, or it could be that you're feeling exhausted all the time and that's not normally you. There's just something going on. Maybe it's to do with a person. You feel friendships are evolving, or all of the above. Now, I'm scrying in the water at the same time as doing your reading, and I haven't even got the cards yet, and there's so much energy popping out here. So even though you may feel very exhausted, it can indicate, that you have a lot going on that's draining you at this moment in time. There's a lot of pressure on you to, really show up and hold it all together and do all the stuff that life requires of us. But I'm seeing in the water right now, and I'm not a medical practitioner, okay? So please check with someone who is professional. I'm just seeing iodine in the water, okay? Iodine, is it iodine? It's a liquid. That's what I'm seeing here. My guides are giving it to me as that is something that is showing up for you. So either you are, lacking in that. I don't know if that's a thing, but as I said, I'm not medically trained, but it's showing up. So maybe that is something that someone out there is looking into. I'm just going to leave it there, okay? That's just something that's showing up there. I'm just going to go away after this reading as well and just check out what that's all about, or what deficiency that could be, for example, or how it benefits in any way in the body. I'll just have to look that up because I'm not medically trained, and of course don't know too much about the anatomy. I know enough, of course, but I trust my guides. When I'm shown something, I'm shown something, okay? So I'll just leave it like that and move on from that energy. Thank you so much, Spirit Guides, Guardian Angels. Can you please guide my beautiful Aquarians? What do they need to know right now? Can you please show them the way? So we have the heart, and that is, of course, your first card there. So you're trying to follow your heart on something. You're looking at your emotions. We've got the trident there. So it can indicate that you're feeling a little bit overwhelmed at this moment in time. You're focused on your health, of course. I feel like you're focused on your true life's calling and mission. But I also feel here that there's this energy of pressure frequencies changing for you, as well as wanting a little bit more fun. I got this energy of like, let's party, because you have the disco ball there. So this can indicate that you feel things have been a little bit heavy, or you feel that things got really serious over the last couple of years, and you're trying to reignite that spark, or remember who you are, remember that playful side of you. I mean, don't get me wrong. I feel like you go out there and enjoy yourself as much as possible with the circumstances that you have. But we have the globe, the world globe there. I can really feel it in your energy that you are picking up vibrations in the world at large. It really affects you. You're an empath, okay? And, I wouldn't mention it if you didn't get the card, but it can indicate, of course, movement and travel. And that's what I felt. There's something about movement, travel, or something changing, something big changing in your life right now. And you may feel a little bit daunted by it, or you may feel like a little bit nervous about the outcome, but I feel like you're going to really enjoy it, whatever it is, okay? Now, that's not going to resonate with all of you, but I have to honor what I'm getting. I feel with the World card, you're just feeling that the world right now, you're trying to make sense of how everything seems to be a little bit upside down. Nothing really feels like it's solid or true. For example, it can be that there's so many U-turns, so many people making promises that are not kept. Things are changing. The goalposts are being moving like several times, and it's like a lot, right? So you may be picking up on lots of vibrations going on right now, because we do have the bell there. The vibrations don't lie. Vibes don't lie, okay? So it can be that you feel there's an undercurrent of something that just feels off or not right now, and this can be connected to the world, because of course you have the globe card that's popped out there. And this is about being like in the flow, naturally accepting that, things are as they are. And the only thing that you can really change about the circumstances are your vibrations. This can be that, you're raising your vibrations, trying to have a little bit more fun, connecting to music, connecting to things that help you vibe high, because that's when you bring the light into your part of the world. And if everyone did that, then it raises vibrations. And that's a very important message that's coming through. A lot of you could be light workers right now that's tapping into this reading. So I really feel this is about trying your best, because of course, it's so hard sometimes to be positive. We can't be positive all the time, but we can really try, because you have the mirror there, and it is opposing the world energy. This can be that, of course, you're looking at what the world is reflecting back to you right now, and you're aware that, of course, there's a bit of a battle going on, an inner battle, an outer battle, and it can be that you are kind of like trying really hard to bring infinite positivity to your circumstances, but ultimately that's a very hard and heavy energy to carry. So I feel like right now, prioritizing your own needs, focusing on your projects, doing you, and enjoying yourself in spite of some of the changes that have the potential to make you feel anxious, fearful, all of those things, okay? So that's something that's coming out straight away before I've even really touched your cards. Let's bring it back to you, because this reading is about you, but I feel, of course, this is also how you're feeling about the environment around you. I feel, all this kind of out of kilter energy or something in the background, a vibe that's not sitting well with you right now, I feel this helps you really, put your sense of purpose into review and focus on digging a little bit deeper on what your heart really wants. It's like, what is your purpose in all of this? What is it you desire to achieve? Whether it is financial, whether it's health related, whether it's deeper friendships, I feel like you're following your heart's calling on something and really wanting to romance your life a little bit more, because the heart is there. It's at the center of your reading. It means that you're tapping in. It means that you're listening. It means that you're observing. But ultimately, it actually means that, you're leading with compassion in your life as much as possible. And your heart is going to lead you to places that bring a lot of success, a lot of joy, a lot of grounding. The heart knows the way. The heart is the inner compass. So I feel this is a perfect time for you. You're doing exactly what you need to do right now. But a lot of you are asking, like, why is it so hard? Why is it so hard? Okay? Because the acorn is crossing you. And the acorn can indicate that, you feel that there's moments of stability and then moments of feeling not so stable or secure. And it can be that there's a fluctuating energy around you. Because it is crossing, you read the reverse of this card as well as the upright. So it can indicate some of you are worried about finances right now, or you're struggling in some way to find grounding. And what I mean by that is sometimes you may feel like you have a lot of intrusive thoughts, that you are anxious, or that, you feel there's just a lot on your mind and it feels overwhelming sometimes. So I would say that this is about grounding and looking at the kind of vibrations around you, the things that put you a little bit out of kilter. So, for example, and I don't know why my guides are giving me this, but it's obviously for a reason. Like I have a cell phone, right, where I dropped it. This is a very old cell phone, okay, and I've dropped it. It's cracked. It's all of that, basically, if I hold that particular phone for too long, okay, it gets super hot in my hands. Super hot, and it makes me feel a little bit, I don't feel so good. So I put it down and I walk away from it. There's something, I know I should, upgrade the phone and everything like that, but, I'll get to that eventually. But I'm aware that if I hold that for too long, the vibes of it just makes me feel a little bit out of sorts, okay? Not particularly unwell, but it makes me feel a bit, okay. And I think it's because I've cracked it, I've broken it, the screen is all smashed up. So it can be that it's not working as it should. So you may be looking at things in your life right now that you feel are not working as it should, or vibes that you have found yourself in positions to absorb just make you feel a little bit out of sorts or out of kilter. This could be friendships. Doesn't have to be a cell phone. I'm just highlighting because my guides show me something to kind of highlight the message. Okay, when I'm scrying in the water, I'm given specific images in order to convey a message that my guides want to convey in the reading. So this could be that you're looking at the dissonance in your life in some way, or things that make you feel a little bit like out of sync with your life, whether it's a food substance that's making you feel a little bit like out of sorts, or whether it's a friendship that you feel is evolving and you feel somehow detached or different about it, or whether it's a work condition, or whether it is something that is like not vibing with you anymore, because you have the bell and that's all about vibrations. It's about raising vibrations, high vibes. It's about clarity. It's about thoughts. It's about, how you kind of like conduct yourself as well, because this card, it says spreading news. Okay, so it can be that there's important news coming on in here that you will celebrate, and you have to be flexible in this news because you got the fluid card there, but it brings infinite possibility and potential there for you, and there's a lot of good things to come. But you may be in the middle of a gear shift right now, and just when you feel that things are like not going the way you want, or hitting differently, or falling apart for some of you, it can be that it's here that things are about to fall together, but differently for your highest good, because the bell is always for the highest good. The vibrations are for the high vibes that bring you, more fun, more exploration. Like, we're here to have an experience, a journey. So it can be that whatever you're about to connect to in a really pure form is really going to inform your life in such a positive way that it makes you feel relaxed. It helps you build the prosperity, the security, and, the kind of lifestyle that you aspire to achieve. The acorn can be investment. It can be that it's a seed of something that grows into something really wonderful. It can also be that, you're looking at the exchange in life. You've planted the seeds in friendships, in working conditions, in life in general, and you're looking at the reciprocity. And for some of you, you feel something's a little bit off. So you may have detached or withdrawn from certain circumstances, almost as a mirroring kind of action, as it were, to highlight, and not as a game, but as a self-preservation mode, where you are reflecting back to people or situations what you feel like you're getting from them. Does that make sense? So if, for example, there's one person who comes in and out of your life, always wanting something from you, and you're fine with that because you have a lot of compassion, you care a lot about this person because we have the heart there. But it can be that you're getting a little bit fed up that they only come to you when they need something, or want to connect you in a certain way without giving back or without having that reciprocity. You may feel they're draining your energy, because we can always feel in a person a vibe. And we'll meet a friend, for example, and we leave on a high vibe, like, it was so great to see them. I haven't seen them in years, but it felt like yesterday. I just feel so awesome. We both celebrate each other, want each other to do so well. We're there for each other no matter what. We may not see each other all the time, but we're there for each other. And then there's going to be a person who's like, you know what? They just want, and they take, and they drain, and they may not be able to give back at this time. And that's where compassion comes in. We have to understand that sometimes we cannot fully give of ourselves because we feel like we're empty or drained ourselves. So we have to acknowledge, where to draw the line. And I feel some of you are just stepping back or reflecting to a person who perhaps is not learning something in your life, where you're feeling, okay, it's time to show them what they have been doing to me. It's not that you're like doing it as a game or a punishment. I feel actually you're just tired and drained of constantly giving and feeling like now you've got this empty cup with this person, and you're like, okay, I need to step back and protect my energy, or replenish, rejuvenate, recharge, and just not spend as much time. And this person's going to notice your actions, okay? And I feel this is going to kind of put an end to this person's kind of actions, I want to say, because looking at the energy, I feel like they feel it, but they felt a little bit in the funk. They didn't know how to get out of it. But I feel sometimes when we enable behavior, it almost gives a person permission to constantly cross our boundaries. So I feel like you are erecting a boundary in some way. This could be with a family member, a friend, soul tribe member, could be with a boss, could be with a neighbor, could also be with like, your partner, if you have a partner, for example. So I just feel like you are valuing yourself, because this is a card of investment, but also value, knowing your worth, as it were, and that you deserve investment. Okay, so that's something that's coming out there. Now, of course, the acorn is all about prosperity. So a lot of you are trying to follow your heart and make some money and just have, a life where you experience many things, because you have the fluid card there. So this could be that you're literally kind of like nibbling a bit of what life has to offer. You're exploring, so that variety is a spice of life. So I would say here that, you're really trying hard to just lead a life that has called to you right now, and it is challenging because the world can indicate that there's a lot of pressure, and there may be a lot of stipulations that are affecting whatever it is that you do right now, and you're just feeling, perhaps in terms of the economy or in terms of some of the rules, regulations, and policies that are changing globally, it can be that you're worried about your investments or what it means for you and your family long term. But I feel the fluid energy, there's going to be a lot of U-turns on things. There's going to be a lot of like changes. There's going to be a lot of perhaps, rebuilding, as it were, almost like the pressure is on and then it ends, as it were. Just when it gets to the wire for some things. So that's coming out there. But let's bring it back to you, because I feel the world energy keeps drawing you out. It's like you put a lot of effort into your outside world, and I feel this is about stillness and coming back to self. But if you see this heart, it says emotions focused on love, heart's calling, affairs of the heart. So of course this is about romancing your life a little bit more, trying to have a little bit more fun there. But if you are someone who's searching for love, because the heart card can indicate that you're looking for love. I feel like, you know, there is someone coming on in here. You may meet this person partying or at some sort of event where there's a gathering, because you have the disco card there. So it could be fun times, groups of people gathered together, or hobbies, things that you do if you don't go out partying. It can be that things that you do freely of your own will that you're excited by, and it puts you in a group of people. And I feel that actually your single life will come to an end, and I feel that you'll be in the flow of meeting a person who matches your vibration and actually reflects back to you the love that you truly deserve and desire. You're looking for investment in a relationship, longevity, but because it is in a crossing position, either you feel that people gravitate towards you for the physical, they just want to have fun, or it's convenient. You may feel like you've met a lot of people like that, and it's put you off love or looking for love for a while. So you may have like put yourself focused on your true life's mission and calling and reinvesting in self at this time. But you are about to align with someone who sees you in all your glory and wants to love you for all that you are, and then some. So I feel like you are aligned to meet someone who matches your vibration. Okay. Now, of course, it says prosperity, abundance, good luck, energy, great things to come, perseverance, and power. Because it is a crossing position, a lot of you may feel you waver and doubt that, you know, good luck is headed your way, or that you've experienced some struggles recently, or perhaps you're investing in something that just feels like it's not moving forward. There's a gear shift here, and you will have that breakthrough. That struggle is coming to an end. You have the skull there. There are some changes that are to come for you, but actually I feel like you are capable of navigating these changes, because the fluid card indicates that you will need to be flexible during these changes, but there's infinite possibilities for success, abundance, stability in terms of your emotions as well. A lot of you will be quietening the inner critic, looking at intrusive thoughts. So it can be that as you're trying to raise your vibrations, because that's what the bell card is all about, really, this can be that sometimes doubt creeps in. When you're about to upgrade in your life in some way, the universe removes distractions. So you may be distancing yourself from a lot of things, or people, or scenarios, drama, and also cutting out things that perhaps, you know, make you feel out of kilter. That's why I mentioned, you know, food substances. If there's something that perhaps makes you feel bloated, or makes you feel like you have a reaction to it, or clouds, you know, your vision, or makes you feel brain fog, for example, I feel like you're on a course to really highlight what this is, to discover it, really look at it and call time on it and say, that's enough, you know, because as you raise in vibrations, your body and your environment, they really affect who you are. I mean, when I say body, I mean like your reactions to your environment and to the things that you imbibe or absorb. And when I say absorb, I mean like witness, you know, TV, film, music, you know, it really affects you. You may be noticing that, for example, as you go through an awakening, that certain spaces are getting louder. You know, you may feel like, oh, it's too loud here. You know, it can indicate that you're very sensitive to sound at this moment in time. So I feel there is a recalibration going on with you, or whoever I'm picking up on right now, because of course this reading will not resonate with everyone. But I feel like you're vibing higher and you're about to have this major breakthrough. But in that kind of process, you may feel a little bit disconnected from situations because you're being separate from the noise at this time. So sometimes that's a very lonely path, you know, but it is about you focusing on your sense of calling, to get to know yourself deeper, to hear your heart, because it whispers. It is trying to guide you, but we have built a very loud environment, and it's really hard to sometimes hear our heart. That's why sometimes we sit on the fence with decisions, because we're like, oh, I don't want to make a wrong decision. I'm not really sure. You know, what if I make the wrong decision? You can never make the wrong decision. You can actually just make a decision that you're called to make, and then, you know, it will unfold for a reason. You're always meant to make a certain decision because you're always meant to have a certain experience. You came to this lifetime for experiences. So this is about being open, because your heart there is the grounding card, to be open to experiences, to be open to prosperity. Now, just as a little aside, some of you may have had like a money block that you're trying to break through at this moment in time. You know, you may be doing some sort of money ritual, or trying to end a generational kind of money blockage, and I feel like you're about to have that breakthrough. It's coming to an end very shortly for you. And I feel it is more connected to you like looking at money as a way of like opening you up to freedom, but also to help you kind of like find yourself in situations where you have fun. But ultimately, you have to learn first that happiness and joy and fun, it all comes from within yourself at first. It's all about perspective. It's all about your heart, how you feel, okay? You have a lot of emotional cards here. And of course, when we're trying to ground ourselves and really feel how we feel in this moment, the world around us actually affects us a lot. So being honest with those feelings and saying, you know what, today I'm feeling something's just off center. Okay, acknowledge that, work with it, don't work against it. Acknowledge that it's fine, because you will come back into a vibration of being in kilter, as it were, not out of kilter. So every day is a new day. So this is about working with the energy because you have the fluidity card. Okay, some days we feel a little bit anxious, and this is a moment to ground ourselves and breathe in that energy, saying, you know what? It's okay to feel anxious. You're acknowledging it because it is a human emotion that's meant to be there. But it is connected to your inner compass, which says something is not right here. I'm not happy with something, or something makes me feel a bit nervous. What is that? So when you really look at it, because the mirror is asking you to look at something that feels a little bit out of kilter right now, then you can see it from many different angles. If you think about the mirror, that is one like surface, but when you think about the glitter ball, this is like many different fractured kind of surfaces where you can see things from different angles. So for example, back in the day, the industry that I worked in, I had to go for many reviews, okay, with different companies, because I worked like so many kind of like different aspects of what I did, right? And basically every time I went there, it was like an interview, and I was so anxious all the time. Why? When I got to the root of it, it's because I care. It's because I care so much about what it is that I was doing that, of course, sometimes I was like, what if it fails? I really need to impress, or I really need this job. I really need to keep this. So I'd crush it, right? But if we trust the process and remain open and fluid and acknowledge that, yeah, I care. That's why I'm feeling anxious. Then you breathe a little bit deeper because, it's okay to care. And if something doesn't go your way one day, it means the universe is aligning you with the next day for it to go better. Sometimes the universe will remove situations, people, opportunities, because there is a better way. And that's really hard to acknowledge and fathom, because I didn't trust the process at first. But then when I breathed and thought, you know what, it'll be as it's going to be. And my guys were like, trust the process. I became very still, very calm, and suddenly all the things that I really wanted just came to me effortlessly because I thought about it. I took a step towards it, and I was like, it's okay. However it's going to go today, it's okay. I'm just going to enjoy the ride. And then suddenly the universe opened up a whole world of opportunity, of stillness, of calmness, of almost like cosmic ordering. Thoughts really do become things. So if we are like feeling fractured in our energy, sometimes we need to acknowledge that that's, yes, how I'm feeling, but let's get to the core of it. Really look at it. What is it? Because the acorn is a core, okay? And that will give you the answers of what it is you need to be aware of. When you can identify what it is that is really making you feel a little bit anxious or making you feel under pressure, then you can really look at it. You can see it, because oftentimes humans, we are anxious when we don't know something. We're, fearful of the unknown. But when we really break it down into little bitty pieces there, then we can really kind of dissect it a little bit more. And then, it kind of ends the control or the power it had over our emotions. And I'm just mentioning that because you do have the trident there, and that is to command your emotions, because water, oceans, they're all connected in tarot and spirituality. Water is all about how we feel. And the trident there is to conquer emotions, not to kind of push them away into a little box so that we don't feel them, but to acknowledge that they serve a purpose, to either cleanse our bodies, to release pressure if we cry, or to tell you as an inner compass that something is wrong. Anger, for example, it's an emotion that's there. It tells us that someone or something crossed a boundary or crossed a line that we need to reinforce. So we need to acknowledge these things as they happen in this moment, but not hold on to them. It's like as soon as you feel it, acknowledge it, understand it, let it go. Because this too shall pass. So if you're going through some troubling times right now, I see that you're going through a gear shift where things are about to fall together for you in a different way, and it's going to be much more positive on the other side. But this is the earthly plane position. We have the bell, announcement, someone's arrival, spreading the news, and drawing attention. You're drawing attention to something that you really want in your life right now. And I feel, yes, it's hard, but I feel there's this energy of like, can you have fun with it? Can you enjoy it? Or is there a lot of responsibility and heaviness on you right now, which that's life. I mean, we've built a structure in life where we have to show up every day, do a job, for example, get paid, then pay the bills. At the end of the day, you're like, you had a bunch of money and then whoosh, it's gone. And you're like, oh, I'm left with this little one thing. What am I going to do with this? Because you've paid the bills, you've paid into the system, you've bought your food, and suddenly you're left with this one thing if you're lucky. Okay, and it can be like, well, what am I going to do with this? Consider this the acorn, okay? Because whatever it is that you're investing in right now, it can grow into something really special. Whether it is investment in a friendship, a relationship, your community, money, whatever it is, I feel like right now you're looking at things that you want to invest in that really align with who you are and how you can grow things so you feel secure in those things. Because feeling secure in a relationship, having a ride or die is important. And if you feel like you don't have that right now, you're about to meet your soul tribe or a person who really kind of gets you and someone who works with your energy. And there's going to be an investment there. Same with money. I feel this is about you aligning with things because money is fluid. If you think about money, it's a currency, a current. If you think about what directs the flow of the currency, the bank, the river bank, the banks. So it can be that, the money block that I'm seeing here for some of you, it's that, to be fluid in finances. So treating yourself occasionally, if you're lucky enough to do that, it doesn't have to be a large purchase. It can be a little something, just to value yourself or give back to you. Sometimes, it's important to recognize that when there's generosity, it comes back tenfold to you. There's an energy of you leading with compassion and generosity, and there's infinite potential for it to come right back at you. If you're helping someone out, giving advice, if you are volunteering, if you're doing charity work, for example, there's so many good things coming back to you right now because of your compassion and your beautiful heart. You can't see those things right now, but they are on the cusp of coming. And it's not too far away because we have an ending here, which always leads to a new door, a new portal, a new beginning, and a new way of doing something that helps you be stronger, helps you reinforce your boundaries, helps you build whatever it is that you're building right now, okay? We have the mirror in the past. Now, the mirror can connect to beauty, of course, how you feel about yourself, and you may feel like you are changing. As you evolve, body, mind, and soul, different changes going on, and it can be that you lament what you feel like you used to be like and what you are right now, but you are still the same person. And, this is about going out there and having fun. Of course, as we mature, we have more responsibilities. We have the disco ball there, so it can be that your desire right now is to get out there and party, but you may be looking at how you feel about yourself right now, because we do have self-reflection, shadow work. It says vanity here. I don't see any vanity in your reading with the rest of the cards, but, we've got beauty there, seeing the soul. So we see ourselves on many different levels, of course. Our heart, our soul, they are very different things, but at the same time, they have a union where they lead with love and compassion, but also we have to do a lot of shadow work to release any trauma or process any pain or sadness or wounds that we have. We have to really reflect on those things in order to release them, because it's very important when we heal from whatever we've experienced in our past, it can remain in our aura. It can remain in our body, our pain body, as it were. So, we have to acknowledge that we're not just healing in order to be strong, just in case we ever experience these things again, which you won't, because we've got the death energy right here. There's a new beginning, a new era for you. But we heal in order to be able to trust that good things come our way, that we deserve good things, that fun can be a factor and, an outcome in our life. We heal so that we can be open to accept those things. Because sometimes, someone who's gone through trauma or pain or wounds or trust issues or abandonment issues, they expect more of the same. They expect trouble ahead because they've been conditioned to do so. So I'm being shown right now in the water. They did an experiment on fleas, okay, where fleas, they jump super high, right? Super high. However, scientists put these little fleas into a jar, and the fleas were jumping way above the jar, but they were jumping, outside the jar until they put the lid on the jar, and then they were contained, okay? And then those fleas, they were contained, and they hit the level, they hit the ceiling, as it were, of limitation, because that was the environment that they were now put into, okay? We are born into structures, environments, and some people have more freedom than others or more privilege than others, and you work within those parameters, right? So when the scientists took off the lid from the glass jar, the fleas now only jumped to that level. They had freedom to jump higher, but they were conditioned to reach a certain level, and they just learned that that's the baseline. That's it. That's where you got. I feel like you're trying to break through that. You're trying to smash through this right now, and you're about to have a gear shift, as I said, and like an upgrade. So you're looking at your parameters and saying, there's got to be more than this. And I feel like you're reaching for that. It starts with having fun, even the little things, walking in nature. That's fun. You start to notice the birds and the unique different, callings that they have, the little songs that they have, the communications, the trees, how they breathe together, the leaves, how they rustle. It's all communication. We are informed by our surroundings. So I feel this is about you looking at what you absorb and trying to have variety and the spice of life that we have on offer, but we are conditioned to be in certain parameters. We have a certain route to work. If you go to work, for example, maybe it's time to shake that up, find a different way, explore new things. Maybe you have a certain, bar or restaurant that you like to go to. What else is out there? It's time to explore. So I feel like you're in this vibe right now where you're like, what else? Okay? Because you're reflecting on your life right now. And I feel with the bell, something is shifting for you. And I feel that there is an energy of you kind of like calling time on something because there is an ending. And I just feel, because this is in the near future position with the skull, but we have the potential position, it's like party time, celebration, going out there, having fun, letting your hair down. And for some of you, this can be, as you do some shadow work, that you become aware of what you feel is a limitation. For some of you, this could be intrusive thoughts. Just when you're feeling really awesome about yourself one day, because sometimes we look in that mirror and go, dang, I look fine today. And then the next day we're like, who that? I don't recognize that person right now. Like, I'm feeling like awful about myself. We go through fluctuations because, of course, fluidity is something that occurs. We are different moment to moment. So I feel right now this is about acknowledging that things will pass. If you're going through a tough patch right now, tough times do not last. Tough people do, okay? But I also feel here that this is about you reflecting on who you are, because self-reflection is there, but also acknowledging that, as you mature, you're actually getting more beautiful, more attractive, more handsome, depending on who is looking at this reading right now. But I feel this is about feeling it in your soul. Feeling it and knowing it in your heart. You cannot be anybody else but you, okay? You can't even be you in the past. You can't even be you in the future. You can be you right now, and you can love yourself a little bit deeper and recognize that you deserve the best. Not in an egotistical way or a selfish way or an entitled way, in a way that says, you know what? I bring a lot to life. I make an impact. In every person that you meet, every conversation, there is an impact, there's knowledge. We are absorbing a lot from everybody all the time. And I'm only mentioning this because you have a lot of emotion energy, you have vibration energy here right now, and I feel like you're reflecting on who you really are. And some of you may actually be going through some physical changes at this time as well with your body, because we have the beauty energy there. And it can be that, this is plunging you into kind of like a challenging emotion. because you are evolving. Like, for example, when we go through a new stage in life, we if you're a feminine energy, go through menopause, for example. If you're a masculine energy, it can be that, you hit a certain level where you start looking at yourself differently. You're noticing naturally, the body, it expands. Like, we expand in different places. Our bones kind of expand or shift or change as we mature. And it can be that you're just noticing different things in your body right now. And, you may be investing in your body in a different way now. Okay. And it can be that you're shaking up your diet or your exercise routine, or you're just, craving a little bit more fun. But you may feel as you mature, there's not as many opportunities for you to go to certain places and have the fun that perhaps you used to have, because the mirror is in your past position. There's something that you're reflecting on right now about your past and how things have changed, or something has come to an end, or it's an end of an era. Whether it's a friendship circle, whether it's a way that you used to party, whether it is a certain diet that you had, whether it is an exercise routine that doesn't work for you anymore, whether it's a neighborhood, there's something shifting and changing, but the best is yet to come. There's better aligned with you at this time. So we've got the nightlife, fun times, parties, social events, exploring your freedom. So I feel this energy here where you're bringing more fun things in, maybe getting, more activity-based opportunities, hobbies, connecting to people, wanting different social circles. So for some of you, your social circle is changing, and you're going to have a new addition. I feel a new addition, a new person coming into your life who's actually going to be a ride or die person there as well. But ultimately, because we also have the world energy, you may be exploring your freedom by thinking about going to different countries, maybe migrating your business or migrating your life, or even retiring. For some of you, it can be that now, as you retire, because the death card energy can indicate that some era is ending for you. So that could be a working era. Now it's your time to party, time to do whatever it is that you like. But of course, humans, they also need structure. So it's about finding the balance of, doing your projects, because that's not going to stop, going traveling, exploring the world differently. But you may feel that some of your friendships are out of sync because maybe you retire before they do, or maybe they've retired before you do, and now you're joining something, so you're fitting into something. So it can be that you're trying to be in alignment with some of the changes that you're witnessing in your world, as well as on your personal level right now as well. And I feel this is about you having fun with it. Enjoy it. Embrace who you are. Now, we do have the skull energy. I feel there's something here that you are reflecting on that is finally over, that you're finally disconnecting from. And it's actually a positive experience. It may have been hard to give this up or walk away from this, but you're free. This is a card of new beginning, okay? So a final ending, you're being vigilant. I mean, we have the world energy, and to have the skull and being vigilant, I feel like you are aware that certain structures are ending or being exposed, or things are being called time on, as it were. People are vibing higher, seeing things as they truly are. You may have been someone who saw things a long time ago, things that perhaps you were unsure of or were kind of like hesitant about, but you trusted your gut instinct on and was like, no, I just see these things beforehand. And you may have seen friendships evolving away from, certain decisions that you made or certain ways of conducting your life. But also to be vigilant, this can indicate that you see something that you are feeling a little bit nervous about, or you feel like you need to protect yourself from. But I feel here that, you have limitless potential, and you are going to be navigating these changes, and you're secure in these changes, okay? So that's something that's coming out there. So if you're worried about something, of course, this is about being in the flow and just, remaining observant, because you do have a vigilant card there, okay? But also, it says here, rebuilding from the ashes. So if you've gone through like a huge challenge or a huge ending there, you're rebuilding. You're that phoenix rising from the ashes, more powerful than ever before. The universe is giving you that upgrade so that you can be separate from the things or the circumstances that challenged you, hurt you, or limited you, so that you can be free, because you have a freedom card right there, and you have an ending of something here. But because the vigilant energy is here, and I mean, it does say warning here as well. It could be that you're keeping your eye on something because it has given you like, I wouldn't say a critical warning, but for example, health-wise, it could be that your body is changing. You've been reflecting on some of these changes. You've been noticing that you feel a bit out of sorts or out of kilter. This is not going to resonate with all of you. You may feel like something's a little bit off. So you may be vigilant, keeping your eye on something. You may be cutting things out that perhaps trigger these things within you. But also it could be that, you're noticing a deficiency, something that you lack. The acorn can be something that, is planted into the soil, or it can be something that is a byproduct of, the tree. So it can be that either for some of you, it can be that perhaps you have a lot of toxins and you're trying to release those toxins and hydrate yourself, and you're trying to flush the energy, out, because we have that fluid, getting extra fluids energy there. It could also be a vitamin deficiency or a mineral deficiency that you lock onto, but you had to be vigilant. You had to notice it first and put an end to it, or, really pay attention to it before it got critical. Because often that card is like things are not critical, but you're aware of something right now that you are staying on top of, so that it doesn't get critical, so that you don't have a tower moment. There's no tower moment here. I want you to be aware of that, okay? So we have the trident. Now, it says here Neptune, and, this card is actually coming out a lot for the collective right now, because I feel everyone is aware that there is this like dissonance or out of kilter energy running in the background. It's like there's so many layers to life, right? There's the world, there's our immediate circumstances, there is our neighborhood, there's society, there's our inner world, there's our personal intimate relationships. There's so many levels, but you may feel something with the world because it is connected. That's your next card. Something is a little bit off. And it's interesting because this card and this one tend to show up together over these readings. Now, I never use these cards for this specific reading. I just got like an urge to shake it up a little bit for the All About Yous. And I thought, well, this is going to present a challenge to me, but my guides are working really well with these cards. So it says here, power to manipulate emotions. And I feel like we're seeing that. I mean, Neptune in Pisces, this is a world that we're navigating right now where a lot of exposés are occurring, all the undercurrent of what's been going on, the subtext, the behind the scenes starting to be exposed or talked about. But also this can be, the era of deception, as it were. So, for example, we have to seek source because there's so many things that could be fake right now, So it doesn't mean like that everything is, but it can be that we're living in an era where we're questioning because actually, that doesn't seem right. Or, that looks like it's been created artificially, like a video, for example, manipulating someone's words or voice. Like there's so many, is it called deep fakes? When, there's a celebrity that you're like, oh my gosh, that's a video from a certain celebrity. And then you find out actually that was created with like some sort of tool. It's not the real person. I mean, that's a very dangerous era to be living in, of course, but it can be that you're trying to find the truth of a situation in all the noise right now. And you're feeling that, all these changes, it cannot be a coincidence that it's all happening at once. It's because there is a breakdown of a structure or system in order to come out the other side in a positive way. But of course, the only way is through. Now, looking at your energy, I feel there's this energy of like, being in the flow, okay? And for some of you, there's this kind of like awareness that like clickbait triggers emotions, high cortisol levels, stress levels. You may not even click a link to something because you're like, nope, I know that's probably nothing. But the actual sentence itself can be like, oh my gosh, the world is ending in like 30 seconds, so click here and find out how you can like avoid that. So it can be that you're like reading it going, oh gosh, but you're absorbing it. You've witnessed it. You've seen it. Everything you see. I'm actually being shown the wonderful prince right now in an interview. That's what my guides are showing me right now. Prince, the singer Prince. And he's talking about a horror movie, a scary movie, and how it stays with you. I mean, personally, I love a scary movie, right? But yeah, it does stay with you. Maybe not all the time, but, you know, especially the couple of days after watching it, you know, I'll hear a noise. I'm like, what's that? Who's that? Where are we at right now? You know, so, but I'm being given this for a very specific reason. So this is like everything that we absorb, it stays in our muscles, our emotion memory, our body memory, our pain memory. You know, it's all there, our pain body, you know. There's a lot of energy coming out here connected to some of the things that perhaps Eckhart Tolle has referenced sometimes. So maybe you're reading a book by Eckhart Tolle. I'm not sure. I haven't seen him in the water or the images or anything like that. My guides haven't specifically given me anything there. It's just something that I'm remembering right now. But my guides are showing me that interview with Prince about a horror movie and saying, that stays with you. You must be so careful about the vibrations or what it is that you are creating or what you're witnessing or seeing, because it informs everything. So I feel like you're aware of that. But bringing this back to self, because this is a very strong card and it keeps drawing the attention in the reading there. But this is about you trying to control certain emotions that don't make you feel good. Because, you know, this is the potential energy. You just want vibe high, have fun, you know, do life and bring this simplicity to life. You know, humans actually just want to get by. They just want to do life. They just don't want to have trouble. They don't want to have anger. They just want to protect their family, live life and love and be free and enjoy and feel prosperous. So I feel this is about you kind of like acknowledging grounding in an ever-changing environment, but doing the best that you can in the circumstances that you got, and it's going to lead you to where you need to be. Now, you have a lot of water here in your reading. We've got fluid, and we've also got water journey that says right there at the bottom, water journey. So a lot of you may need to hydrate a little bit more right now, okay? Extra fluids there. But also, you know, this is an energy of you trying to kind of like, and I want to make this clear, it's not that you're controlling your emotions so that you don't feel them. It's so that they do not overwhelm you. Acknowledging that they're there, acknowledging that they serve a purpose. It is often an inner compass guide to say, something's not right. How do I feel about that? You know, when you're about to do something monumentally exciting and successful, sometimes we feel really anxious. Why? Because it comes back to the fact that we care, okay? It's okay to feel those things. But if the overwhelming feeling gets so much that it limits you and stops you from moving to the next stage, then you need to reel it back, because you do have the infinity symbol, which is about having no limitations. You know, you are a limitless, infinite being with so many potentials, as long as the opportunity is there. So I feel this is about you being ready for opportunity right now, and opportunity is flowing towards you because you have the acorn. So I would say that, you know, this is about preparing space, having this positivity to welcome something in so that you can accept it and help it and grow it, okay? Because humans were not always given the opportunities. And actually, you know, we have to go searching for the opportunities. We have to look. That's why you've got the mirror there. So it's like you're looking for opportunity. But the right opportunities will flow towards you as well. There's like, it's almost like a flow, okay? There's opportunities that you'll seek and find, and then there's opportunities that will be delivered out of the blue. And I feel like you're about to explore both those avenues. And I'm talking in terms of love, career, you know, friendships. There's like a two-way street here, energy coming through. Now, if you're in a relationship already, because the heart energy can indicate someone who's connecting to this reading's already in a relationship, I feel this is about reigniting the spark between you and your person, you know, really remembering what you fell in love with each other for, having some date nights, okay? Maybe even having a very healthy cutoff point. The bell can be to schedule something, you know, to put something into the diary to remind you of, you know, having social events, parties, enjoying your freedom, traveling to new places. For some of you, it could be that you've had deep conversations with your partner about moving to a different part of the world, maybe migrating your family. And it's something that, you know, has infinite possibilities and infinite potential. But it can be that you have to be fluid with it, because there's going to be a lot of changes to navigate there. And, you know, you're going to love it if that's you. But at the same time, make sure you invest in good quality advice from advisors in some way, because of course there may be some pitfalls or some rules, regulations that are not so readily accessible. But, you know, you don't have to be in a partnership to explore that. You know, the World card can be that, you know, you're trying to move into a new era of life, or you're finding yourself in a new era and you're navigating it and you're just being in the flow. You're trying to show up every day and it's like there's no rules or regulations in this new environment or this new era. And I'm not talking about legalities. I'm talking about you're navigating something that seems to require you to be flexible. Okay, so for example, if you're like going through menopause, you're navigating it, you're trying to find what works, what doesn't work, you're trying to manage something, but you have to be in the flow because one day it may work, next day it may not work. You know, it can even be moment to moment for some of you. It could also be if you are going through a period of unwellness, for example, you're trying to manage these symptoms, for example, and it can be there's some days where it works, some days not working so much. But I feel if you're someone who is managing inflammation, for example, of course, water is going to help, but you know, you may actually discover something from overseas. Always check with a practitioner. You know, that's very important there because I'm not medically trained. But you may find something that is an organic source from overseas, for example. It may be like a plant that's only flourishing in, you know, Australia or, you know, Mexico or Africa or somewhere. It can be that, you know, something that's grown somewhere else is going to help you with it. Or it could be like medication from overseas that may benefit you in some way, and you will trial these and see if it works. So I feel like, you know, you have to be fluid with it, but it could end it is what I'm seeing. But always come back to someone who has the knowledge, someone who is solid and can offer you solid advice there, okay? It says travel opportunities, moving abroad, foreign or foreigner, wholeness and completion. I feel a lot of you, this is you coming home to yourself, feeling whole within yourself, because sometimes society has built this idea that we're always searching for something, searching for our other half in love. That's not true at all. You're whole all by yourself. Anyone who comes into your life is a welcome addition to your life. They do not complete you. You complete you. Okay? But this is joining two completed entities together to be in the flow. It's about fusion with the things that align with us or identify with us. So it can be that you're acknowledging, you know, that you're loving yourself in a different way. You're valuing yourself in a different way, and you are whole all by yourself, okay? Also, with the world energy, this is completing a lot of tasks. So you may have been promising yourself that what you start, you complete, because you have a lot of endings here. I mean, on a practical level, some of you may be looking at expiry dates of visas, passports, all of those things, because you're about to go on a vacation and go out there and have fun. But ultimately, I feel this is more about you coming home to self and recognizing that every day is a process. Every moment is a process. You know, from moment to moment, we are a different person. And I feel this is about you acknowledging that it's okay to have feelings in so many different areas. And as long as they don't overwhelm you or limit you, then of course it is about coming home to yourself and asking yourself, what is my body or my mind or my soul or my higher self trying to communicate with me in this moment? Your gut instinct is always the first brain. I always call it the first brain, because your gut instinct will know something is off before your brain actually says, I can connect with the eyes and see if there's anything that's off. Because you can meet a person and think, something about that person, and you're like, I don't want to judge, but something's giving me the heebie-jeebie. So, but I'll bank it, but I won't actually kind of like pursue it. I'll just be open. And then suddenly, a year later, or whatever, that person proves you right, and you're like, oh, I knew it. I should have just trusted my gut instinct. Sometimes you can walk into a room, two people have argued, but no one's talking right now. So you didn't hear the argument, you didn't know there was an argument, you've walked in, two people are sitting there, and you're like, something's off. Have they had words? I just feel it. You don't know why you feel something is off, but your gut instinct is telling you something's off. So it can be that you're listening to your gut instinct at this time, you're paying attention, and it's reflecting back to you something right now that you feel like you need to look at or be kind of flexible with. And I feel like you're on the right course. Now, this is a hope and a fear position, and because it is a limitless card, it can be that, of course, you feel like you've hit a limitation, or you're fearful of limitations. You may feel the world is trying to limit you in some way, or you may feel there's changes going on where there are limitations being brought in and you're fearful of this. This can be that right now you feel a little bit helpless to change the circumstances, but you're aware of them, which is half the battle, because some people are not aware of these changes. And it can be that you're looking at how best to, find your way through these. When the moment is right, you will know when it's time to act on these things. For some of you, this could also be that you feel like your energy is out of alignment right now, because we got Kundalini energy, dualism, unity, harmony, balance, eternal. So it can be that you fear that your energy levels are depleted and you're like, why is this? So you're being vigilant, trying to work it out. Could be a process that you have to go through in order to identify it, but it could be your environment. Could be, something that you are absorbing, imbibing, something you're witnessing, or it can be that there is, as I said, a vitamin deficiency, mineral deficiency, or even like, water related, you need hydration there. But the fear is like not having the energy or not having the opportunity to reach your full potential. But you will, because the card is present in this position. So I want you to be aware of that. Now, we have being in the flow, natural movement, acceptance, and no resistance. Now, interesting, because this can be that you're in the flow and you're not resisting your emotions. You're not resisting the changes. You're working with these changes. This will elevate you and it will help you be more prosperous, more successful, more aligned, because you are coming back into alignment with your energy. Of course, this can be natural movement as well. That means that, you're naturally leaving a place to enter a new space or a new era. It's a natural evolution that you're going through, and it feels like a gear shift, and it's hard and it can be daunting. But I feel like this is about you trusting the process, and that's what no resistance kind of means. I mean, I also get this energy here of you kind of like accepting things as they are, but also reflecting on the changes that you can make, because these are opposing cards. So it's like you're reflecting on how you need to end something or change something or welcome something new in. And this is just going to inform your life and make you feel high vibes. It's just going to bring you to a place where you feel content and you can work from there. Okay, so a lot of you, because the acorn is in the crossing card, it can be that you want better luck, and that is going to be on its way for you. Also, you're persevering in something and you're more powerful than you can ever imagine. Okay, because this is perseverance and power. This is the crossing card, which means it unlocks it all. This is the thing that goes into the upright. You have more power in a situation than you realize. You can affect change and make an impact infinitely in your life and the world around you. Leading with compassion, leading with light, but also this is a card that indicates you're in the flow towards more money, you're removing a financial block, and there will be prosperous energy around you there as well. Now you also have partnership. So this is you aligning it. A partnership doesn't always mean partnership with a person. It can be you partnering or connecting to things around you. Partnering with source to, navigate this thing called life. Maybe even partnering up with social media platforms to earn money. Maybe even partnering up with neighborhoods to build communities. Whatever it is you're partnering with at this time, I feel it leads you to infinite potential, because there is this affinity, this unity, this connection, okay, that we are interconnected in some way. And I want you to be aware, I could feel it in your reading, but you are about to have a breakthrough. This is the energy. It's like when you feel things are falling apart, it is here that things are about to fall together, but differently. This is the breakthrough for you. So it says here, partnership number 2. This may be a number you're going to see a lot there. Number 2, of course, is the High Priestess energy, which is all about trusting your intuition, connecting to your higher self, finding quiet spaces to connect. But it says here, your angel is encouraging you to embrace the beauty of partnership, as it has the power to bring peace and create unity between individuals, ideas, and concepts. By approaching problems with an impartial and empathetic perspective, you will be guided towards more harmonious outcomes. So that's definitely shown up in your reading there. And I see that if you're searching for soul tribe members, that, you will align with a person who is your ride or die. But also this is seeking more harmony in relationships, in friendships, and in the environment that you connect with. We also have co-create. and it's 777 there. That's jackpot energy. 777 is very lucky indeed, so better luck on its way for you. But it says here, with your energy in perfect harmony, that's what you're trying to align with right now, with the divine, each thought, feeling, and action weaves a tapestry of reality in blissful partnership with the universe. So you can be in partnership with the universe. As I said, every person, every experience, it informs. We are all energy. Everything we give out, it changes our environment in some shape or form. It says, by anchoring in the heart center, that's exactly what you're doing right now. You've got the heart center at your reading. By anchoring in your heart center, the cosmic flow infuses your life with love, light, and wonder. Everything is working in your favor. That's why you're going through this gear shift right now. And finally, we've got breakthrough, 1212. This is a number you're going to see a lot if you haven't been seeing it already. And I'm not just talking about on the clock. You're going to see it on receipts. You're going to see it on doorway numbers. You're going to see it all over the place, okay? It says here, you are on the cusp of a significant breakthrough in your life after a period of stagnation. Your willingness to grow is all the energy you need at this moment. Set new goals and live them out. Opportunities will come to you effortlessly if you open yourself to growth and new possibilities. And you've done that, because you've got the acorn, which is growth, and you've got the new possibilities right there, and a smattering of fun along the way. So I'm really excited about your future, but the only way is through, okay? So that's something that's coming out there for you. Just going to go and get a drink in a room before we close. Ooh. So we have the snake. Okay, now the snake is shedding old skin, maybe even leaving the familiar to embrace the extraordinary. This is a period of rebirth, of growth, but also removing toxins or toxicity from your life, because the snake can be all about venom, anger, not just venom, it could be substances, things that perhaps you feel don't align with your body. And we are in the year of the snake. So this is the year of change. It is the springboard to change. We can all feel it. We can all see it. It's no accident. 2025 is the year of the snake, okay? Now, we also have the cross bow there. Interesting, because this is a bow and arrow, but I'm being given a crossbow for some reason. So some of you may be like learning the crossbow, or you purchased one, I'm not sure. Can be more that you're in alignment. You're focused on your goals, you're prioritizing your needs, you're locked on, and you're ready to launch something, or you're ready for this new beginning. This is literally, you preparing. If you think about bringing the bow and arrow, you're bringing the string back. It's like you're bringing something back. So if you feel like you're taking a couple of steps backwards, it can be that you're bringing something backwards so you can shoot forwards, so you can springboard. Sometimes we have to take a step back to observe before we move forwards. So I feel this is a perfect analogy, really, for what's about to happen for you, because it may feel like there's an energy of moving backwards or taking a step back or detaching from certain things in your life because you're about to elevate forward quite quickly, okay? So I'll leave it there. I hope something resonates in that reading for you, my beautiful Aquarians. Also, if you'd like to be with a chance to win a free personal reading from me, all you have to do is put an emoji of a candle in the comments box below and write the word candle if you don't have an emoji of a candle, because the world, it needs light right now so much, okay? So of course, see that light in your soul if you can as well, and emanate it out to the world. Also, as an aside, if you have a moment, because I can see you're super busy here, trying to hold it all together and make your way through and understand this thing called life. But if you have a moment, play your favorite song. It changes your vibration. Really feel it in your soul. It helps elevate you. And if we all do that together, then our small patch of the world, which actually makes a major impact, it will elevate, okay? So I will announce the winner at the end of September, so you have ample opportunity to, enter the competition and plenty of time there, so don't feel rushed. But I will be drawn by my guides to one subscriber. It has to be a subscriber, unfortunately, because I can't find the person if they're not subscribed to the channel. So I'm a little bit in a rock and a hard place there. But, you have to be subscribed to the channel for me to find you when my guides give me a name. But I will announce the winner at the end of September, okay? So thank you so much, my beautiful Aquarians, and love and light.